Wired channel, and I'm going to do a live stream of working out a design for a watercolor lighthouse for Amber's. So she made a special request. I'm going to work on that. I'll show you what I've been working on the other live stream, and as always I'm just going to flip this screen. So let me just come around, bring it down. So there we go, and hopefully you'll see something on the screen while I get settled in. Pull up the video on my computer. There we go. And these live streams are very improvised. I'm just going to be troubleshooting some designs for the watercolor, and I'm just going to get set up here. And don't worry if you have to come and go, because I'm just basically, I could be doing this alone, or I could go live and share the journey with you guys. So that's exciting. So I'm just going to get some water. This is what I made on Wired Lady TV today. It was for Debs. It's a bird cage with birds flying out of the bird cage, and there's a door that opens. So you guys can watch the replay of that. I'll link it up below. Hi Mustafa, you're here, and hi Mirta, nice to see you guys. So guys, I'm working on a design for a lighthouse for Amber, because she wanted to make a lighthouse painting, and I actually went yesterday down to the water in Lachine, because we have an actual lighthouse there, believe it or not, on the island of Montreal. So I wanted to check that out. I'm just going to try to center my paints a little bit. Glad you guys are here. I think that's good. If I bring these over, I just want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use my Stuart Semple palette to see how that goes, and I will show you the pictures of the lighthouse that I went to see yesterday in Lachine. So here, hopefully you can see it. Here's the lighthouse that I went to see in Lachine. You can see there's one like in the park, an actual lighthouse, and then I will find one. There's one also by the water, but the one by the water, it has a lot of graffiti on it, so that's unfortunate. But it's a nice lighthouse other than that, and that's in Lachine. So I'm going to work on that. And oh, there's me taking a selfie at the lighthouse, of course, because you know me and selfies. So that's fun. And then there is also a little touristy thing here with a frame that you can look through, take a picture in Lachine. So that's super cool. I am going to grab a sip of water. And what I forgot to do was to get my tape to tape it down. So I'm going to do that too, because I always like to tape these down. They're easier to work on when they're taped down. And these are my paints. So let me grab some masking tape, and then I will get going with that. Yeah, the reason you put the tape on there is because you have to catch the replay. No worries, Mustafa. Yeah, no worries at all. I'm just going to putter around here and work on this design. And thank you for hopping by to say hello. Always appreciate it. So let's just get the tape on here. This prevents the paper from stretching when you wet it. So it's always good to do that. And we're just going to get, and it also makes a nice little border when you take the paint off. So I don't know if this is at the right angle. I think I'm going to have to, no, that's the wrong angle. So I'm going to bring that back down that way. There we go. So let's get some tape on there. Perfect. And then I'm going to draw it out and see. Try watercolor inks. I've used inks, yeah, I've used water-based inks before. They're really nice. They're very vibrant. I've also tried acrylic inks, but the watercolor inks are really nice. We used to use that at the art school where I used to teach, so that's fun. I'm just going to look at what I decided to do. I had some images that I wanted to go by on the computer, and also using the image Yeah, I think I'm going to try something like a landscape type thing, but I'm also going to look at the picture that I have of the on my camera roll, because that's why I went to the park to find a picture of the lighthouse. So I'm going to go by this lighthouse that I picked up. I went to Lachine and got the picture. I was talking about the Wire Lady TV replay. Have you ever tried watercolor inks? I was talking about the Wire Lady TV replay. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mustafa. Oh, okay, okay, sorry. Oh God, I am not the quickest. You mean you have to watch the replay of the Wire Lady TV live stream? Yes, okay. Yeah, no worries at all. It was a fun one. We made that wire bird cage and the birds, so that was fun. I don't know if you saw that when you hopped on. Yeah, and it even has a little door that opens, so that was like super, super fun. So now I think what I want to do is I had an image on my computer that I'm going to just put it aside over here so I can see it. I can't hear very well. My phone is older than me. I'm probably not talking very loud either, Mirta, so it might be me as well. I also sadly have a bit of an infection in my mouth. I get cankers, so I'm not going to force my talking that much because it hurts a little bit. That's one of my weak points is I get these cankers for some reason. I do not know why. So if we're going to do the lighthouse, let's just go by this one here. And then I want to do kind of like a landscape thing. So what I was thinking was just to do like a little bit of landscape. We'll see. I'm just really improvising. So if we do something like that, but then we want the ocean to show in the back and we want the lighthouse. So we're just going to bring this one up. And then I thought what I could do is maybe actually do a template for Amber if it would help her with the drawing aspect of it. But for right now, I'm just going to go like pretty loosely. Maybe I should have moved that over a little bit more. I do have an eraser. I don't want it too far to the side either. So if I bring this one over, maybe a little bit over here, bring that one up. There's so many different ways you can do the lighthouse, like that you can do it in different contexts type of thing. But I thought it'd be fun to go with my sketch or with my photo, because that's what I had gone out to do yesterday. So if we just do like that type of thing, and then what I probably could do is actually like print it and trace it. I actually didn't think about that, but I could probably just like print it and trace it to have it a little bit more accurate. And I like this like view from the ground, you know, like the view from the ground up. It makes it really interesting. So if we just bring this one down, you could curve it. This one is actually not as wide at the bottom, the one that I did, but I like the idea of the lighthouse being a little wider as you go down. Could be cool. So it's adorable. Okay, so now let's just get this one around here, there. The bird is adorable. Oh boy, Mustafa, I am having brain farts today. I'm not connecting what you're saying with what I've just shown you. So that just proves I'm a little bit brain dead right now. But bear with me if I'm a little bit slow. And I appreciate that you think the bird in the cage is adorable. So now we've got this, and then we want this actually has to come around more like that, I think. I'm trying to like visualize what's going on here. So, okay, let me just redo this. Sometimes it's good to like really observe things to see what's actually going on. So if we have this line is like here, and then this goes quite a bit out here, and then out. So this, if I actually traced it, it would be much easier, but because I'm just kind of winging it, and then this looks like it has lines that go out like that type of thing. So that goes like that, and that like that. These don't have to be perfect either. So we're just gonna do like that, and then this goes more straight up, and this one goes around here, And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to work on the shape of this, but this is the idea. And then we have like little things around here like that. I think for the basically with this live stream is I just want to get an idea for like the design ideas. So we're going to bring that one around, and then here, maybe around, and then maybe another one kind of like down here, I guess. Yeah, and then this kind of goes into the ground. So this is like a very loose idea for the lighthouse itself. And this is like honestly my very like first prototype, so we'll see what direction I end up going with this, but we're gonna go that way. So now what we want to do is this is gonna be like grass type of thing, and then we're gonna do like clouds. And let me bring this one down. So they do like clouds and stuff, and then maybe have some like little birds. Actually, I saw something that was really cute, was the birds were actually done like in relief. So I thought I'm gonna try that just because it's something different, where you actually do the birds with the drawing gum and then you draw the sky over top. So if you did that and you just like kind of did like, you know, see how they were, they might not be perfect, but we're just gonna like go in like that with the drawing gum. And if you don't have drawing gum, you can use like oh, what's it called? Rubber cement, sorry. So we're gonna do like that. There's just 3. They're a little too, I should have done them like different shapes, so we could just do a few like here. These are like more like little L bird type things. Anyways, I'm gonna just maybe do one more. So we'll see how that goes. That's different. I didn't know if I was going to do that or not. So this is drawing gum, and basically it just keeps the color of the paper, so you can paint over top of it. So then here we want to have the seascape in the background. So what if we just, I don't want the horizon to be too low either, so I'm actually going to put the horizon maybe more around here. Like they talk about the rule of thirds, so like have this like about a third of the way down, and then this would be the sky, and then the water, and then it would be cool if we could have some like little wave things happening down here. So we might be able to do that still. We're gonna see. I'm kind of like going by a different like image here that's more like grassy, but we could try to do some like waves and stuff there, some crashing waves. You can use latex. Now, by latex, what do you mean, Mustafa? Is that latex paint, or what sort of thing do you mean by latex? I'd be curious about that. Let me know in the comments. And I'm just going to look up a picture of crashing waves on the internet. How crashing waves watercolor, just to have an idea of what it might look like, because there's all kinds of things you could search online to get an idea, because I like that idea of doing like some kind of crashing waves type of thing, but I don't know how well it's going to work. So we're going to start with that. I think I'm going to start with trying to do the lighthouse and see how we can do. We want to keep it quite like white, and then we're going to go in with some color. So let me pull this one up again. And like I said, this is very, very experimental. My photo isn't the best, it's a little dark, but I think what I would do for the shadows is use like a Payne's gray type of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get some Payne's gray, and I'm going to bring that over there. I'm going to go back here and see Kristen. That's my sister. Yay! So if you guys don't know, World Peas is my sister Kristen. Yay! I'm so happy you're here. So I'm trying to work on a lighthouse design for Amber because she wants to make a gift. She wanted to do a lighthouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up my other palette of paint. Kristen and I do art together every Sunday or Saturday night, so that's super fun. Looking forward to that. And we play Scrabble online, which is really fun. So I have, this is the Stuart Semple palette. I'm gonna move this over a bit. And this is my other palette that I love. So I'm gonna work from that palette as well. I'll just put it over here. Yeah, and Kristen, I don't know if you already know Mustafa, but Mustafa is my friend and he lives in India and we've sent stuff back and forth to each other. Mustafa makes beautiful resin art and jewelry. And I think Mirta may still be there. Mirta's in Argentina. So we're a nice little group today. So I'm gonna just get some Payne's Gray and I'll bring it. I'm gonna just move this as part of my palette. I have a clean area of my palette over here. So I'll get some Payne's Gray, bring it over here, get a bit of water, and then figure out what I want to do. Oh, well, my pleasure. I always love your inspiration, Mustafa. And Mustafa, you missed the live stream, but Peggy was talking about she's making coasters out of resin and wire. So she's doing like a wire dragon or something, and then she's doing like coasters, like pouring resin on it to make a coaster. So I told her to share a picture and that you would be like super interested in that. So that's really cool what people do. Now I'm thinking what I could have done to make this line even stronger. This would have been better. I could get tape. It's too late now. It's a little bit wet, but for this area, I could just tape it off to get a straighter line. That would be probably better. So now I'm gonna just get this here, and I don't want it too dark though, so I'm trying to like remove a little bit of the paint. The idea is you want it to look slightly like white-ish, like the white of the lighthouse, but we want to have a bit of shadow, so that's why I'm using the Payne's Gray. And then I think I'm actually going to like somewhat erase this line and then just put some tape. I think that's a better idea. See, it's as you learn as you go, right? Oh yeah, I can't wait to see the outcome too. Apparently she's already done some for her nephews or something. So she's going to share a picture and I'll put it in the community section of the YouTube channel because it sounds really cool. So yeah, this is a better way to get a cleaner line. So let's do that. And then I'm going to get another like little bit over here. This a little bit here. I don't want it too dark. And then get your water, clean brush, and bring it in here. Okay, just to get a little bit of bleeding going there. Okay, a little bit off there. Cool. So we've got that. And then, oh, there you go. I'm leaving these lines to do red. And then let's get a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful what she does. Yeah, it's fun. Peggy really likes the resins, so you guys have something in common with that. She did those pens, which were really cool, and I still haven't tried it yet, but it's only because I have too many projects, but I definitely want to try some resin at some point. And I'm taking an acrylic class, so I had my class last night, and that was super fun. I did like we were doing like Andy Warhol type things, so I'll show you guys at some point what we did, and I actually put it up on my Facebook page, and I might try to sell it. I was going to give it away, and somebody's like, I want to buy that, so I'm thinking I might put it on eBay and people can bid on it. Mirta says, nice, the lighthouse, Heather. I studied perspective when I was younger. Yes, vanishing points, yes. Yeah, I took fine art actually at school, and also in high school my teacher was a very amazing art teacher, and she did a lot of perspective projects. So yeah, that's a good idea to keep that in mind with the vanishing point. I'll have to keep that in mind. And right now I'm just going from the picture, but I guess I could have maybe put a dot on my painting to do the vanishing point. Good tip, Mirta. I'll have to remember that for next time. And then we're just going to keep going. The other way you could bleed the colors is if you wet the area first. Okay, we just wet it first. Then it becomes like this wet on wet thing where you do like a little bit. In fact, I don't know if I want it dark there. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't actually put it dark there because maybe the sun should be shining there. I think I'm going to be careful about not making it too dark. there. And just because maybe the sun will be shining there. So that's, I mean, I'm just playing with this. So we're gonna see how it goes. I'll do a little bit of dark over here, a little bit more dark, get some more, get it there. And have I ever told you that you are an excellent watercolor painter? Oh, that's so sweet of you, Mustafa. I really appreciate that. I much prefer watercolor to acrylic. I very much struggle with acrylic. I find it a very difficult medium, but I love watercolor. Watercolor is definitely my favorite watercolor medium, and I don't use it in a traditional way at all. I like to, you know, I do a lot of abstract and things like that. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. So now there is just the beginning part of what would be the lighthouse. And then we're gonna let that dry a little bit. You can actually probably remove this side because it didn't really get super wet. And what I'm gonna do is let that dry, and then I'll put the tape back so I can do the sky. So we'll do the same thing. We'll remove the tape. You see it makes a nice clean line. And then we can go back and, oh, I forgot this one here. Okay, so I'm not gonna worry too much if it's perfect. Let's just get the dark, bring this one down here. There we go. Clean my brush and bring it around here. Did you guys see the full moon last night? It was, we went down to the water and Mimi took some pictures of the full moon. That was really nice. There we go. So we saw it rise, which was beautiful because we're somewhere that we can go down to the water and see the moon rise, which is very, very nice. So we've got that, and we've got that. That could be a little more shadowy at the bottom here. So there's our beginning of our lighthouse. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yes, excellent watercolor painter. Thank you. Yeah, the shadows are very important. That's why it's a good idea to either be in nature in front of what you're drawing or to have a very good photo. So I'm kind of doing like a bit of both. I'm kind of making up the background because I don't have a photo to go from. And Kristen said, nice, thank you. So now for this part, we want to do some of the waves, but I'm not sure how well it's going to go for doing actual crashing waves, but I'm going to try first with just doing some water. So I'm going to mix some blues over here. And then we also want the ocean to be a little bit different than the sky. So I'm going to mix a little bit of dark in there too. And this is where I should probably like go from a picture or something, but I'm just going to play around with it for now. A little bit more over there. And just bring it sort of around here. And then this is where I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to play with it, have fun with it. And this will be like our little line in the distance. And just kind of go like back and forth type of thing. Keep it simple. So we're going to go back and forth. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do crashing waves or not. So we're going to see. I'm going to clean my brush a bit. Clean it, lift off some paint. So that's a nice technique where you actually like lift some of the paint off. You get a damp brush. Actually, I was been doing a lot of projects by Colby Bloom is her name. She has a YouTube channel called This Writing Desk. I did a couple of her challenges and stuff. And I actually just recently, I should look at her book. I just recently bought her book about seascapes. I bet she has a tutorial for crashing waves. So now what I want to do here is I'll just like put a little bit like in here, but I also want to somehow, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I guess put water first. Okay. And then somehow make it, and I might have to use the acrylic or the gouache paint because I want to do like some little crashing wave things here. Oh, the other thing I could do, which I just thought about, which could work, is I'll put a little bit more color. Okay, we'll put a little bit more color in there. I'm gonna remove that a bit. I don't know if I want to do the salt technique though. See, this is already making cool like little lines and stuff in there. I don't know if I need the salt because it might like ruin it. I mean, I could try. I'm gonna try a little bit just to see. We're just gonna see. We'll put a bit of salt in there. We'll see what it does, and I can always brush it off after and see. So from there, we want to do the lines in there. And Elmarie, hi, how are you? Nice to see you, Elmarie. Yeah, well, you're not too late. We started around 3, but I'm just working out a design for a lighthouse for Amber. So now I want to do some red stripes. So I'm going to get some clean water, and I haven't been in the art group for a while. And have you been posting in the art group, Elmarie? Let me know. That group's a little more passive for me. I do go into it, but just not as often as I do in some of the other groups. So you guys have always have nice discussions in there. So there's the red, and then if I want to just like tone it down a little bit, I can add like an opposite color type of thing. So I can add a little bit of, just add a little bit of green, just, I don't know which green, maybe that one, just to tone it down a little bit. Because if your color's too like saturated, you can add the opposite color to tone it down. And then, oh, you guys didn't see what I did, but I had a red and I just toned it down with a bit of green to soften it up a bit. But now I think I'm gonna need a smaller brush. So I'll get a smaller brush, and then we want to just like go in and do these stripes a little bit, but that's now not dark enough. So I'm going to add a little bit more color, a little bit more the opposite color, because it wasn't saturated enough. So I'm going to just add a little bit more, go in here, and we want to do like the stripes a little bit. So we're going to put that in there. And like that. And then I'm just going to clean my brush and just bleed it out a little bit. Oh, I want to be able to see that. There. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. So I've got, yeah, I want to keep it on the like soft side. So I'm going to do a little more there. I suppose I could have kept my tape on there too. I'm going to just, yeah, these are, for the perspective, Mirta's right, it's very important to have good perspective. So my curves might not be as perfect as they should be, but it just gives you like an idea. So I'm going to go in, darken these up a little bit more. And if you even need them darker, get a little bit of your Payne's gray or something, and then you can like darken it up a little bit. So that makes a big difference when you have a decent shadow in there. And then we're going to keep going. You posted watercolor flowers. Ooh, okay, cool. I'll hop in and check it out for sure. Yeah, and excuse me if I'm not always in that group. That's sort of like a hobby group. So it's great that you guys interact and stuff in the group as well. Yeah, fun stuff in there. I wish I had more time for painting, but I'm usually pretty busy with my wire stuff. So this, like, see, I've let it out, so it's quite light. So it looks like there's light like shining on it. It's pretty cool. So now that's it for stripes. So these ones ended up being a little bit thick. I guess I could have like thickened up these ones a little bit because they're maybe not thick enough now, but that's okay. We're going to do that. I'm going to add a little bit more dark here. Okay. And then this up here, we want to get sort of like this shadowy thing underneath. So I'm going to use the Payne's gray for that. Get a little bit more Payne's gray. Bring it over. You guys can't really see my palette, but I'm going to try to bring it over a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to close off something that I have here. And move that one up. And so now let's get a little bit more Payne's gray. And let's just do this. So we're going to bring this one around. Bring that one around here. And around here. down and get that darkened up a little bit. And around here. And then around to this side. Yeah, I like how you're like looking underneath this. It's pretty cool. There we go. So we've got, could go out a little bit more maybe. Whoops. I'm a little too far. It's okay. And then this one, then we'll bring it out a little bit further. And then if you need it darker, a little more dark. So say you want it darker on that side, you can just make it a little darker on that side. And it's better to work with it when it's a little bit wet. I'm going to clean my brush. Oh, your works are abstract. Abstract's great. I love abstract. Abstract's actually one of my favorite kinds of art, or a combination of abstract and realistic. So there's like, this angle got a little messed up. It's not like as rounded out as I wanted it to be, but we can maybe try to clean it up a little bit. You know, sometimes we make a little bit of a wrong move and that happens, but so there's that. And then let's go into the top, since we have that color out anyways with the red. So I'm going to do the same thing where I mix the red but tone it down. See, I'll show you guys. I'm taking like red from here, but it's too bright, so I add a little bit of green and it just tones it right down. It's like magic, you know, mixing colors is like magic. So it just makes it so it's not too bright. And then we can add also some Payne's Gray if we want. Now, Heather, game idea, what is different you can say is abstract? Not sure what you mean. Game idea. Game the idea. When it is different, you can say it's abstract. Not quite sure what you mean, but sounds interesting. So there we go. So I'm going to bring this one around here and around here. And I'm going to add a bit of Payne's Gray because it's like it needs to be more shadowy. So we're going to bring that one around and see how well, there we go. And even like the lighting in this isn't necessarily perfect because this lighthouse was under a bunch of trees too. So I'm going to bring this one around, make it more red in the middle. There's also like a little knob on top too. And then I'm going to just like bleed this out with water for now. And then I could always go back and add more detail to it. So we're just going to bring it because it's quite, that angle isn't great. So I'm going to just bring this one out a little bit more. Yeah, I think that, yeah, we can maybe pick up a little bit of color out of here just to have like a little highlight thing. We could just pull a little bit of color off. And this shape isn't perfect, but that's okay. So we're going to bring this one in here, do the little knob on top, maybe get a little bit more of the Payne's Gray to go in there. Okay, we're going to get a little bit in there. You can barely see it. I think I put too much on the top, and then we need like a darker shadow underneath. So I'll get more Payne's Gray, just a teeny bit of red. There we go. And then we're going to bring this, oops, I have too much paint, I could tell, under here. So there we go, a little more Payne's Gray. And bring this one under. This one's like kind of hard to see how it looks under there. So I'm going to bring that one around there. These are bleeding together a little bit much, but that's okay. So we're going to bring this one around, that one around here, and that way. Kind of looks like a mushroom. There we go. And then this one actually should have probably come down that way a little bit more. There, that needs to be a little darker, I think. Get a little bit more Payne's Gray. There we go. Gave idea. Oh, okay, gave idea. Okay, it's the game that threw me for a loop. There you go. I understand now. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. You could have made that part a little bit darker a bit, but that's okay. So this is what we've got so far. So then now we want to do the, actually, let's do the little railing as well. I don't know if I have an even smaller brush to do. Don't know how well it's going to work. So if we take this even smaller brush, and then we want to do this railing thing. So we're going to bring this one up. Oh, you know what? I'm going to wait because I'm going to have to, I'm going to do the sky and the railing was going to get messed up. So I'm going to do that sky first, and then we're going to do the railing. And then I also have the grass. So maybe I'll do the grass first and see what we can do for that. So I'm just going to get my other brush, this one here, and I'm just going to do a bunch of like grasses and stuff and mix a bunch of different things. So we want a bit of brown, or this is like raw sienna, or no, it's ochre, sorry, yellow ochre. And then I'm just going to prep some colors. So I have some what looks like kind of like a sienna, raw sienna, burnt umber. There we go. And I think this one's like more burnt sienna. These are actually not named like regular watercolors. They have different names to them. It's Stuart Semple palette. So now I'm going to get some greens too. Just prep them at the side a little bit. And then there's some more that's like this is more like a sap green. Just comparing them a little bit. And then this one's more like a brighter green. So we got the brighter green there. So now I'm just going to use some of these paints and just, ooh, that's ugly. So let's get rid of that one. So that one got a little muddy right away. So we're going to take that one. And I'm going to just get more of the sienna stuff. So there. So now there's like, would be like a little bit of sand and a little bit of grass type of thing. So I'm just going to like go like that, clean my brush, and then start like just kind of like putting the areas of the grass in there. I don't want to be too precise with it because it's just going to, I just want it to be somewhat abstract. So we're just going to go in here with our colors, and then we want some darker areas too. So we can just kind of get the darker areas as well. And oh, I'm going to get more. Maybe this one. Okay, sometimes it's better to prep your colors first, and then we're just going to get some down, and you see how they all like bleed together, so it's kind of cool that way. Get that in there, and yeah, so we want some areas to be dark and some to be light. So now I'm going to go in with this like this green, I think. Which one? Bring it over there. Maybe this one. And you can even like add a bit of like the blue or a Payne's Gray to it just to make it like quite dark. So if you want like a darker green, you can just like kind of this darker green can kind of be in the shadows type of thing as well. So there's all kinds of things you can do with it. And then I'm going to just get this green again. And we're just going to go around here. So the idea is you want to just get a bunch of paint in there. You don't want it to get it too much either, like too blendy either. But this, you see, they're kind of blending in together, which is interesting. Just blending them in together. And then I do want to do some more like wispy type of things too. So we're just going to get that in here, clean my brush, get a little bit more of the green. Okay, sometimes it's better to go more opaque too if you want to just like have a little bit more punch. So we're going to go in here, get this all. It's okay if you have some white showing too. So now what I want to do for that, it's not too bad. If you want more yellows too, you can go in and get more of your ochre and just plop it in there as well. So now I'm going to get my thin brush and try to do some like wispy type of plant things. So let me just get some of these, and the idea would, oops, I'm going to be careful, my getting it dirty. So we're going to just like kind of, we want them to look like they're kind of like blowing in the wind type of thing. So we can get some, maybe a bit of brown with it. And I have a picture I'm looking at of some wispy kind of like cattail-y things. They look like cattails, but it wouldn't be cattails because it's not a swamp. But the idea is you want to have some things that look like they're kind of like blowing in the wind type of thing, because it's like it's the ocean, so everything's like very windy and stuff. So the thing is, you wanted like a really good thin brush, otherwise it's not they're not going to be too thick. So over here we could do some of things, okay, and then like around here. So maybe I'll get some darker paint a little bit too. I'm just going to get a little bit of darker. There we go. A little bit of darker paint, because we want them to be somewhat like defined. So we're going to see if we could have some in here, maybe some other ones like in here type of thing. It's not dark enough. So let me get a little bit of darker paint. And we don't want our brush to be too wet either. So we're going to go in here. Yeah, the brush is my brush is a little thick. And this stuff is wet, so it's not like super working out that well right now, but it's not bad. So, and I don't want to do too much, you know, you don't ever want to overdo it. So we're just going to do a few. And then if you want to look like they have like little flowery things on the end, you can go in and like kind of put things like that. It gives it a little bit more detail. I'm not quite sure what color, maybe kind of in a sienna or something. So we're just gonna, and you don't want them too dark either, but the idea is you do like little things on the end so they look like they're actual plants, you know, that are not just grassy things. Just gives it a little bit more detail. And like I said, you maybe don't want to put them on all of them, but you want to put them on some of them. So we're going to go like that. Put them on some of them, but not all of them. Around here, around there. She should maybe put another like little scoopy thing there. And then we're going to put some on this side. This one's, I find it a little bit dark, so I could lift up a little bit. Oh, that's maybe, I lifted up a little too much color, but that's okay. It just gives it a different look as well. So we're going to bring that one, do a few more in here. I'm going to have to remove that salt as well. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to have to go back into here and add a little bit more, because I shouldn't have pulled off all that color. So I found it a little intense, but maybe we don't want to pull off all that color either. And then if some of these lines are too big, just fix them up a little bit. You can just go like that. Hi, Mimi. I'm almost done. I'm just working on a lighthouse. Oh, I can't wait to see. Okay, Mimi got some pictures printed, so that's awesome. And then so all I really have to do now is the sky, and we'll be good to go. And then this what's happening here, I might just dry it a little bit and see, and then I'm going to tape that off, and then we'll do the sky. So I'm going to just move the, I'm just going to dry it a little bit. And then I want to go out for a coffee. Do you want to go out with me for a coffee?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mimi.
Hi.
I don't know if anyone's, only 5 people are watching, so nobody said hi to you yet.
5 people on the live stream.
Yay, so let's try this. And then now I want to do the sky. So let's see how we're going to do the sky. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm going to just actually Google sky, watercolor sky. And we'll just see. Oh, we can just do clouds and stuff. That'd be cool. Okay, let's just play with it. So now what we're going to do is just play. Oh, there's some nice skies on, very nice skies on Google. So you guys can, and there's lots of tutorials online as well that you could definitely look at different tutorials. Oh, Kristen says, hi, Mimi. My sister. Mimi says hi back. So now, let me just see how I want to do the sky. There's a few nice pictures. There we go. There we go. Sometimes I just put up some reference pictures to have an idea, and then we'll play with it. So now, I don't want to go too light because we want the birds to be able to show. I'm going to remove this salt at some point, but I'm going to do the sky first, and I'm also going to tape off the lighthouse. So let's get our tape, and let's tape off the lighthouse so we can do our sky. So I'm going to tape right over there. Okay, perfect. And then this side, oops, it's got a little too far over, so there. And then this side, bring that one down. Oh, there's something on there. Bring that and tape it off. So there's our, we have to tape off our lighthouse. There we go. Now, and then we're just gonna have to be careful with the top of the lighthouse because it's curved. So I guess you could tape it if you wanted to, but, and I'm gonna leave that horizon line. We can just deal with that. That's fine. So now let's get our paintbrush and get some sky colors. So we have, I can remove this now, which is my iPod that I don't need. I'm going to move this over a little bit more so you can see some of my color mixing. So we're going to bring like some sky colors over here, and then maybe some other sky colors over here. This is the palette that Allison gave me, and I think it'll last me another couple of years. It's a great palette. This is the Stuart Semple palette. It's a little pricey, but the colors are gorgeous. Yeah, I would highly recommend this palette. So we're going to just get some different paints. And also some Payne's Gray, because it could be a little cloudy. So we're going to bring some Payne's Gray in there that you can somewhat see a little bit. And then we want to just do our sky. So let's just go ahead and, oh, I just mixed that in the wrong pile. There we go. That one goes there. And then this one goes there. Perfect. So we want to, you could either do wet on wet, or you can just go ahead and do, you know, some paint. So we're going to just like we really want to be a little bit dark where the birds are. I think that's the idea. So now I'm going to actually clean my brush and start to blend these a bit and go around here. And then we can like and this one up here. Yeah, so that, and then let's gonna get some more over that bird. Okay, we're gonna get that over that bird, and maybe get some of this one over here, there and around. So we've got that, and around here. Not exactly sure how this is going to turn out, but we are going to see. That's the magic of watercolor, because you never quite know how it's going to turn out. And it's good to have some white areas too. So if you need to go in with a paper towel, you can pick up some areas of color too. I'm going to bring that one in here. You can pick up a little bit, and then we're going to go up here, do more paint up there, and then just like bleed it in a little bit. Perfecto. Okay. And then here too, we want to bring a little bit more color and like blend it up a little bit. You can lift some up with your brush. Okay. And then down here, we can bring more in there. We can get more watery if you like. There we go. We'll see how this goes. It might end up being a little dark. There we go. I probably could have left a little bit more white paper, but we never know. So we're going to go in there and then get some more colors, a little more dark too. And over there. Not quite sure how we're going to differentiate it with it from the ocean, because it seems to be similar colors. So we'll have to see what we're going to do about that. Around here, I really love this more not turquoise. It's more like it's called sky blue. It's like a cyan blue. So I really like that color. And then maybe as we get down, maybe we should have even done like a little yellowy there to make it more like the sun, like a bit of the sun. Let me see what I can do about that. So I'm gonna get a little bit more yellow across the horizon and see what that does. Because otherwise it's just gonna be too much blue. So we can go in there. Okay, it's kind of interesting. It gives it a little bit of a punch. And it makes a differentiation line between the horizon and that. So maybe we should, I'm thinking maybe we should have done some other colors in there, like even some, I wonder what would happen if we put a little bit of magenta. It might be a mistake, but you can put a little bit of magenta in there just to give it a little bit of a punch. Okay, because otherwise if it's like all the same color, it's going to be boring. So this maybe indicates a bit of a sunset or something. I don't know if I like it. I think I do. It's different. Yeah, so there, wow, it's kind of cool. So now we have to do the other side. Have to go. Oh, nice. Thanks for hopping by, Mirta, and hanging out for so long, because you were on the other live stream too. Really appreciate that. And now we're going to go to this side. So let's go ahead and cover the bird with the dark. And then we're going to go ahead and put this one here. And bring this one around. I'm going to bring this one here. And we're just going to keep going, adding a bit of blue. Let's get the other shade of blue. We're going to try all our shades of blue, 50 shades of blue. There we go, over here. And we're going to bring this one around here. And this can go right to here, because that's going to be where we do our little railing there. But we're going to go over that after. So I'm going to get some more, my favorite sky blue here, around here. And I need to lighten this up a little bit. So I'm gonna just bleed this down a bit. And then I'm gonna actually clean my brush and lift off a bit of that paint. We could even use our watercolor or our paper towel, because we just don't want it like all one tone type of thing. So using the paper towel helps to lift up the paint a little bit, just to give it a nice kind of vibe. So let's just keep going down. We're gonna still need to do a little bit of yellow there. Gotta go to sleep. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Elmarie. I'm gonna hop over to the art group and see what you've been working on. Now, the problem here is I should have done these wispy things after, because now they're somewhat in the way of my sky, but that's okay. Live and learn. Next time, do those little things after. Okay, so we're gonna bring that one there. So at least we have a little bit of yellow behind there, and then we can also add just a titch of the pink. You don't need a lot. You don't want it to turn too orange either. And then we're going to go in here with our nice sky blue and a bit of this one. And then a little bit of this lovely, it's just like a Prussian blue. I don't think it's called Prussian blue because the Stuart Semple watercolors have their own names for the colors. So we're going to go like that. And then we're going to just bring this one in here. So we can maybe fix that one up a bit. Put a little bit more of the Payne's Gray just to give it a little bit more variety. I'm going to just lift a little bit of this. And this, I got a little too much water. Sometimes you can tell when you have too much water because it ends up being like, you could just tell. I don't know how to describe it, but you can just tell when there's too much water. So we've got that. It's just maybe not as blendy or something. There we go. We can maybe get a little bit more of the blue in there. And that's probably good. And then we're going to have to dry it a bit, and then we're going to do those little things on there. So now I'm just going to dry it off a little bit, and then I'll remove the salt, and I might fix up the waves a little bit too. So let's just do this. Remove the tape. Remove this tape too. I'm going to dry the sky. Make sure this is dry. Okay, so that's that. And now we want to remove also the drawing gum, but we want to make sure it's dry, and I want to remove this salt. So let's just remove the salt. And it did make somewhat of a splashy effect there. I might go in and fix that up a little bit because I think that could use a little bit more texture. So I'm just going to go in with this one here. Oops, oh, it's too dark. I'm not sure how to do this, but I'm just playing around with it. There we go. Let's see. Because I wanted to look more splashy, so I could probably go in with the gouache, because it's hard because this is like down, this is like below, so the perspective wise I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but we can like maybe try to do some like little lines or something, and you can always remove them, so it's not, you know, it's not a big deal. gonna smooth that a little bit. Yeah. They actually even have white here, but I don't think that would be my solution for this. Yeah, you can maybe spray something on it or get some gouache or something like that. Yeah, this area I'm not 100% sure what to do with, but I feel like the water needs to be a little darker. So I'm gonna go in with some more Payne's Gray and stuff, and then just like kind of like, yeah, let me get some more Payne's Gray. I'm gonna bring that over and just like kind of little, I think I have to mix it with the bigger brush. So we'll get a little bit more Payne's Gray, a little more of this Prussian blue. There we go. And I'm gonna just go in and do some little lines. Okay, we're just gonna go like that. There we go. There we go. Just gonna go in and do some little. Yeah, so just to have a little bit of variety in here. It's maybe a little too dark, so there we go. I don't know if this is working or not, but we're gonna try. Yeah, just to get a little bit more oomph. Because right now it's a little bit boring, so we're just gonna try to fix it up a little bit. There we go. It's just a little too subtle, I think. So we do these little lines. It helps. And I'm not sure how successful we are with that like crashing wave thing because they're quite low down. So I think I'll skip the crashing waves for now. And I'll just keep going with this type of thing. And that way it makes it interesting, but it's, I think perspective wise, the crashing waves weren't working. So we're gonna just do it this way. There we go. And bring that, and then just maybe pull a little bit of that out. There we go. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Get a little bit more of this color. Actually, I think I don't want the sky color in there. I'll just do more like this, some of these other blues. And then just bring this one across like straight lines. So yeah, I would definitely do these plants after because I find they're not working like super well. There we go. And then we can remove I'm just gonna do a little bit of a contrast here beside the lighthouse. There we go, just blend it out a little bit. So it just looks like there's a little bit more contrast there. Maybe even a little bit more. Or the dark one, let's see. Just gives it a little bit more contrast. There we go. I think that's good. So now let's try to remove the drawing gum for the birds and then we'll be done. So I'm going to take this and there's one bird. So we're going to remove that. And that one somewhat worked. That one. I don't know if the little ones worked. We're going to see. Yeah, so there's this one. I don't know. That one's really dark. I don't know how many birds I did. Not that many. So the birds kind of show, there's a bit of a blotch there. I don't know if I can fix that. Let me just see if I can fix that little blotch. Just very gently. There. Just a little too blotchy. And then down here. There we go. Yeah, it was just a little too much contrast there. So there's sometimes ways you can fix stuff like that, and that's a little dark too. And then even this one, so let's just fix it up a bit. Yeah, so that's cool, but now these are a little bit too contrasty, so what if we got a little brush, okay, a little brush, tape stuck on there, and we're just going to get a teeny weeny little Payne's gray with a bit of water, just teeny, and just put a little teeny blob, kind of like almost in the middle of it, just so it's not like stark white. Do the same here, maybe. Oh, just, that's too much. Let's just get like a little, just gives it a little bit of a shadow. Here too, a little bit of a shadow, and there. Cool. Yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, I'm not sure about those. Let's get that. Let's just keep that white. Yeah, I don't like the shadow on there. This one too. I think I like the contrast. Yeah, and then you can go in and like even outline those birds if you want, or you can just leave them like that. Like, what if we were to do like a little line underneath them? Let me just see. Rather than like putting color in them, what if we just like kind of like outline them slightly underneath? That might work. So like that. Maybe. We'll try that. And this one too. And this one. And this one. Just gives them a little bit of definition. This one too. And you could also just do like little shadowy birds. Like you could just like get your Payne's gray and just do like a little kind of that type of thing. You know, there's all kinds of things that you can do. It's like a swarm of birds. Cool. I like it. Okay. And then this, I don't know why it didn't go quite, whoa, don't do that. I didn't go quite to the edge, so I'm not sure what happened here, but you can soften this up a little bit. If you need the color to go right to the edge, you can just always soften it up a bit like that. So that's it, guys. This is the lighthouse for Amber. And oh, hi Greg, how are you? What about a dash of white gouache? I thought about the gouache as well. I think that's a good idea to put a bit of gouache on there. In fact, I was going to put gouache for the spray of the waves type of thing. So yeah, you could definitely go in with gouache and do that. I think I'm going to finish for today, and I'll remove the tape. So we're going to remove the tape. But yeah, gouache is a really good idea, and I know Colby Bloom in her tutorials uses a lot of white gouache, so you could definitely do that. This one got a little blobby, but that's okay. This is for a first time. It's not so bad. So there we go. That's it. And I will just turn it gorgeous. Thank you. Perfect. Oh, thanks, Elmarie. So I'm going to flip the screen and say goodbye. Let me just flip the screen around. There we go. So bye, guys. Thanks so much for hopping on the live stream. That was super fun. Kristen, I'll see you Saturday night for our Zoom art call. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And I'll hop over to the art group and see how everybody's doing. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.